Welcome to the Fibro Me Fabulous podcast, where we discuss all things fibromyalgia. Done by not a complete idiot, but some parts are missing or just not working properly. Hello, my beautiful rascals, and a happy new year. I hope you had good holidays and that you have fun, be with your loved ones or even by yourself, just taking good care of yourself and mostly had fun. Yeah. I did. I had a lot of fun. The first day of Christmas I spent with my family, and we also celebrate the second day of Christmas here in the Netherlands. So we don't celebrate Christmas Eve, but we celebrate first Christmas Day and second Christmas Day. And on second Christmas Day, I had dinner by myself. So that was good. Sometimes at the end of the year, we start worrying that we didn't do enough, that we could have done more, or that the things that you wanted to change, it just didn't turn out. And, you can go into the new year with this all kind of worrying in your head. And, you need to know that if you could have done more, you would have. If you could have done it differently, you would have. Because that's the thing that we don't realize, and especially if you're also neurodivergent, right? I was always told to try harder, to do better. And the truth is, you're always doing your best, because why else would you do it, right? And if you look back, could you done it differently? Yeah. But that's with the knowledge you have afterwards. You don't have that knowledge beforehand. If you would have that, you would be psychic, right? So yeah, just remember that you're always doing your best, and if you're trying to change that and it didn't work, then apparently it wasn't sustainable for you or not sustainable for your lifestyle. And that's what you need to take to account as well with fibromyalgia, right? And if you're fibromyalgia, neurodivergent, your body and your brain doesn't work in the way that other people's bodies or brain works. So you can try to implement other people's tips and tricks, and it just doesn't work out because it doesn't fit for you. And that's okay. I need to think about a song, and her name escaped my mind, but she is from How to ADHD. Jessica is her first name. Can't remember her last name, unfortunately. And she had made a song for neurodivergence by a neurodivergent, and the lyrics go something like, try different, try again. So if something doesn't work out for you, try to see why it didn't work out for you. Is it because it doesn't fit your lifestyle at all? Is it something that other people said you should change, but you don't really want it? Or if you're self-sabotaging, maybe there's something you get out of the self-sabotaging, because if you wouldn't get anything out of the self-sabotaging, you wouldn't do it. So there must be something good coming out of it, although it doesn't seem like that at first hand. We also, because we usually have low self-esteem, we downplay our victories. I was thinking that I didn't accomplish much this year. And then I looked at what I've accomplished this year. And, for someone that's chronically ill, it's quite a lot, actually. I mean, I managed to get a job into childcare in a branch that I would never thought I would be in again. I got my Zumba instructor license. So yeah, I'm not practicing it yet, but I did get it. And I can practice it anytime that I want, or when I have the energy for it, but that's another story. I have become, just before the end of the year, I have become a Twitch affiliate on Twitch. So, those are big things. And I realize, I look at what I've accomplished, and sometimes it takes other people that say, that's quite a lot you've accomplished. I'm so proud of you, or I'm impressed by what you're doing. And then you start to realize, like, wow, I did accomplish a lot. And if you think about yourself, yeah, but March, I really didn't. I have such a hard year last year. I'm just glad I made it. Then be proud that you made it through the year. If your year was this hard that you didn't accomplish anything but survive it, that's a great accomplishment. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder, because that's not easy. If that's the only thing you managed, then your life was hard. But because if you could do more, you would do more. And that's the thing we need to realize, that we need to stop downplaying our efforts or accomplishments or time and energy that we put into the things that we do. There are so many years that all I accomplished was getting through the year. I think this last year, 2024, was the first year that I really started accomplishing things again after years and years of just surviving. And that's a big thing. And you know what's stuck in my head? The fact that I gained weight last year. The fact that my health isn't where it should be. That my glucose levels are too high. And now my brain said, yeah, but you didn't do that, so you failed. I'm like, fuck you, brain. Did you know what I did last year? You were there, god damn it. It's so easy, even if you practice self-positivity, it's so easy to get stuck in that negative thinking, in the negative spiral. It's so easy to go there. But it's also because it's the most walked path. I had a woman asking me advice because she's going through a hard time. She might have some health troubles and it's not clear yet, but her mind is going down the what if spiral and not in the good one, right? And she asking me, Marge, you always look so positive and you're dealing with all this illness and you still look happy, you know, how do you do that? And the truth is, I'm not always happy. And that's the trick, right? You think that positive people are always positive. We are not. The thing is that we don't tend to wallow into the negative. And that's the difference, right? The difference between being happy and being not happy is the wallowing and staying stuck in the negative thoughts. And it doesn't mean you always have to have a happy day or always have to be positive. No, my brain is not always positive, but I catch it when it happens. And that's where the awareness comes in, right? When you are aware of your own thoughts and you are aware of your mind going into the darkest places, that's where you have to say, hey, brain, thank you for protecting me, but I've got this. And that's not what I want to think about. And just with my brain about my health, right? Look at how far I've come. I mean, I'm doing body pump classes with fibromyalgia. Come on, man. How many people with my condition are doing that? You know? And I'm like, yeah, not everything in my life is 100% in order. But do you know anyone who has? It might look like that on the internet, on Instagram or social media, whatever. But trust me, nobody has 100% their ducks in a row. There's always something off, or their mindset, or their health. And everything might look perfect. Nobody's perfect. And that's what you need to remember. Life doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent enough to make progress. If you're making progress, you're consistent enough, period. And the reason why I make these podcasts is not only for you guys. I make them for myself as well, because sometimes I need to remind myself of these things. Right? Dealing with a mind that easily goes to negative is hard. And like I said, you know, it's like the most walked path. That's what I went with the story with the woman that was asking for my help, by the way. Losing train of thoughts here. This podcast doesn't have to be perfect either. So I told her, like, the way your brain is thinking, like, is the most walked path in a forest and the easiest to follow. And every time you try to think a positive thought or try to think in another way, you're creating a new path. But that path isn't walked on. So you have to walk on it a couple of times before it gets visible, right? And I didn't explain it with so much detail because I just messaged her, right? So, but that's the way it is, you know. Imagine a forest where there are certain paths that have been walked on before and they're easily to follow and neatly carved out, and now you're trying to find your own way in the forest. It's much harder. It's not easy. It's much easier to walk on the path that's already there. And that's what happens with your mind. If you're easily going, you have a mind that easily goes to the negative thoughts, that's the most unwalked path. So yeah, you have to practice. You have to practice a lot. And in the beginning it will be a lot of affirmations. But make sure those affirmations are not the be-all, end-all. You know, if you're confident, you don't have to tell yourself you're confident. You feel confident. So don't only say you're confident, but do things that make you confident. And that might include some things that you're scared of doing. Next week, today is Sunday for me when I record this. Next week, Wednesday, I have an appointment for the museum here in my city. And very soon, I'm going to give a tour in this museum, together with someone from the museum itself that can explain a little bit more about the paintings and all that stuff. I told you about this before. The show is called I Hit You With a Flower, and I can put my own story on some of the artwork that's there, you know. I can explain what I feel about it, what it calls to me, and explain my own story with femininity and being LGBT and all that stuff. And that's way out of my comfort zone. Because in the last episode, I told you guys I didn't even tell my parents, right? I didn't even come out to my parents. And, you know, with this tour, it goes public. So the tour will be promoted with my face on it. There are a couple of other people that will do it as well, but the specific tour I'm going to do it is going to be promoted with my face. I'm like, that's kind of awkward if that happens and my parents read that and they are like, but we didn't know this, right? So that for me was the incentive. Okay, I really need to tell my parents. I was a bit scared of that because I was a bit worried that they wouldn't be accepting. So what I decided to do is I asked my friends, you know, I want to do this on my birthday. You know, I want to do this on a day that's about me. So I don't take away any, because usually when I see my parents is on a birthday or celebration or anything like that. I didn't want to do it with Christmas, for example. So I thought, you know, my birthday was on the 15th of December. I celebrated it on the 13th. And I just said to my friends, you know what? I'm going to come out with my parents. And they asked me, oh, wow, how are you going to come out? And I told them how I was going to do it. So when I would start talking about it, they would know, okay, this is it. So I had the support of my friends there. So that was really good. I had the support of my sister there because he already knew. But my grandma was there and my parents, and they didn't know. So I told my friends and my sister, look, I'm just going to talk about this gallery thing, the museum thing, right? That I'm going to do the tour and what it is about. And then I'm going to explain, yes, I can put my own stamp on that because I'm LGBTQ. So I came out to my parents as bisexual. And the reason why it was so hard for me is we had someone in the family who was a lesbian, but she didn't come out as a lesbian for a long time. She was in a relationship and married to a man. She had 2 kids. She came out as lesbian and also cheated with a woman on that man. And that was the first LGBT person in our family. So yeah, there was quite a stigma on that. And my closeted bisexual me might have crawled further in the closet when that happened in our family. I told my mom afterwards, and she said, yeah, great chance it might have happened because it was quite a thing in our family. But yeah, my parents accepted it. I didn't quite catch the reaction of my grandma and my dad because when I told it, my mom started crying and immediately went in for a hug. So I didn't quite catch the reaction of my dad and my grandma. But my friends were there and they were saying, you know, your grandma was smiling, your dad was smiling. They were good. So, but my mom just immediately came for the hug. She is like me. She's an emotional creature, right? So, so we hugged and we cried, and she told me she was very proud of me. So, yeah, I'm really happy that I did that. And, you know, I did that with the because I didn't know they were gonna be so accepting, to be honest. I did that with the risk of losing them, basically. I thought, you know what? I need to be me, all of me. And if they accept it, then that's really great. And if they don't, that will suck. But I need to be me, and I need to be the whole me. So yeah, I did that too in 2024. I came out fully out of the closet as bisexual. And I think that's also what the fibromyalgia is, right? Just an exhaustion, just together with depression, right? An exhaustion of pretending to be something you are not, and living your life for somebody else the way somebody else wants it. And it doesn't matter who said this to you or who made you believe it, but I think the most important thing to tackle my depression, to tackle my pain with fibromyalgia, is to start living the way I want it. Stop hiding behind that mask. And I've been lifting up that mask step by step, very slowly, and now it's completely off. And also on my Twitch channel, right? I'm completely me, completely myself, together with my crazy, ugly laugh. I really don't like my own laugh. But I'm me, and apparently people like that. And that's why I made the goals to be an affiliate. An affiliate means that you have to have certain goals met to get basically paid for streaming, in my case, gaming. And among other things, my parents always have been, or as far as I know, always have been atheists. And they were raised religiously, but they both had the choice, and they made the choice to be atheists. So anything spiritual or with religion came up, everything was bullshit, right? They let me learn about it, but they didn't really let me believe in it because they thought all of it was bullshit. But for me, not so much religion, but spirituality has also been a source of comfort for me and helping me to grow in life and give me the motivation to go on. And I already was doing that by myself, but the one who really inspired me to look in that more is one of my best friends, and she has a page called Guinevere Tarot, and I will put her links in the show notes. But she is just an amazing spiritual being. I coming from a house of atheists, I was always very skeptical, right? So I was very interested in these things, but really believing that something like tarot could be real, I thought it was fun, but I never believed it to be real. Until she doesn't know me long, right? My best friend, she knows me for like 2 years. But she didn't know my grandpa. My grandpa died before I met her. And one time she was doing a reading for me, and she said someone is here, because for some reason she couldn't get a hold on the cards very well. So I've just jokingly said in my head, well, Grandpa, help her out. And then she said she felt something, that a presence was here. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a little bit too coincidental, right? And then she said, can I do something to you? I feel the need to do something to you. What she did, she grabbed me by the shoulders and started rubbing it, but in the exact same way as my grandpa would do if we were upset or he just was happy to see us. And with us, I mean me and my sister. That's what grandpa would do exactly. How would she know that? She never met the man. I barely told anything about him, right? I told her stories about him, but I never told her that he did that. And she did that to the exact point. And I was like, all right, you're the real deal, girl. And her readings are, for me, like 90% accurate. And if they're not accurate in the moment, then usually at a later time I can say, hey, what you said in your reading, it just happened. Like, it might be a reading she did months ago, right? She does readings for the collective, right? Global readings, but she also does personal readings. So if you want that, reach out to her. She is really, really good, and she is very kind, and she's very powerful. And I am sure that if you are interested in these kind of things, she will be able to help you. Reach out to her on Instagram, on YouTube, Guinevere Tarot. I will put the links in the show notes. So yeah, a lot of things, a lot of revelations for me, a lot of opening up, be vulnerable. And I'm gonna continue that into the new year and try and see if I can work a little bit more on my health regarding my glucose and my weight. That would be nice. And I didn't focus as much on my weight last year because I was focused on getting a job and doing that job well. And I was very low in energy, which makes you hungry. So, I was really dealing with that and getting settled into the job. And, I thought that was much more important than what my weight was doing. But now, because I have diabetes type 2, of course, I need to watch what I'm eating. But it got out of hand now. So we're gonna keep an eye on that now a little bit more. So that's something I need to deal with right now. But the rest of my life is going well now. I have a good group of friends. I have a family that supports me. I have people around me that love me. I love myself. I love the things that I'm doing. I have nice hobbies that I can look forward to. And my job is good, it's fun. Not always, of course, but you have that with every job, right? There are good things and bad things about it, but the most days are good, and that's what you're looking for, and also looking for in your life. If most days are good, then you're on the right track. So, and it's been a long time where I could say, in this year, most days have been good. So I hope that gives you inspiration or gives you some motivation to work on yourself, take care of yourself, and have a lovely start of the new year, my beautiful rascals. And I'll see you in the next one.